Занять позиции!
Hello everyone, and welcome to day 6 of this Germany vs USSR conquest. If you're wondering where day 5 is, unfortunately I didn't hit the record button, so I only got a fraction of that battle, and unfortunately I can't recreate it because I overrode my save games. I normally back up my save games between videos in case things like this happen, but by the time I realized that the game was overwritten by the USA. So that mission took place in Stalingrad on the outskirts, where we took 2 positions from the Soviets. We lost a tank crew for the Stug, and we had one of our tanks disabled, although repaired. We lost those 2 tanks to this 76mm field cannon. This 76mm field gun. It's very effective and very deadly, and it was well positioned behind a brick wall, and as my tanks pushed forward, this immediately disabled them and took out the one crew while I was evacuating the other. So we have it in our disposal. I was able to capture it, so it's going to come with us to the front line. Now for this mission I thought I'd do something different. Typically I try to min-max my lineup, because if you are not aware, the more you bring to the battlefield, the more the enemy is going to bring to the battlefield. That's how the AI works in this game. And also I like to be stingy. I don't like spending points or money. That's just a natural behavior. But it can be a bit boring, and given it's a defensive mission, I thought I would indulge. For this fight I'm going to bring all the guns, germs, steel, armor, shell, flak, and pack I can muster. That involves bringing 3 infantry guns, machine guns that is, 1 7.5. I'm bringing an extra howitzer or artillery. I'm bringing 3 5cm puck cannons and one of the captured Soviet 76mm anti-tank vehicles, as well as the field gun that took out our vehicles. I'm also bringing these spotlights. So I didn't know this. If I'd known it, I would have brought them on sooner. These can see very far into the fog of war, similar to how an officer spots with his binoculars. This can cut arcs into the fog of war and see much further than a set of binoculars. So I've brought 3 of them. I've brought anti-miners, anti-personnel miners, as well as an engineering truck, same as usual. And we are going to now defend this position. I've only brought 1 rifle squad, given that we've got so much anti-infantry to begin with. So let's grab our bottle of schnapps and head to the front line. Alright, let's bring in the miners. These are our spotlights, and they can see very, very far, and they light up everything that their beam cuts across, which is quite cool. I'm going to tow one of the howitzers. We are going to take... Let's have a look at what we've got. We'll defend 1 position. I'm just deciding which one to take. think I'm going to defend this one, given how much more open the field is. So we'll set up here. And we will support the other position with our artillery, given that we have 2 of them. Alright. Let's get moving. We'll put the howitzer in here. In the courtyard. To the other one. Let's get the spotlights up front. And the miners into the field. Let's bring in group 3. These are all our anti-tank weapons. Extra tank crew for recovery. Field gun. Another field gun. 5 centimeter puck. Machine gunner. Moving to the front line. The 5 centimeter puck was the successor of the 3.7. Given that the 3.7, the Germans figured out that they weren't doing much damage to heavier and heavier tanks, particularly that of the Soviet variety. The Soviets had quite heavy armor, tank armor. Up until that point, the Germans thought they had armor superiority, and then the Russians showed up with the T-34 and the various KV-1s and 2s. So they had to upgrade their field guns to be more effective. Another interesting fact is that the Germans used their flak cannons against Soviet armor. As it slowly dawned on them, the 3.7 wasn't cutting it. So the flaks were used owing to their high velocity, although they weren't necessarily built to be anti-tank. The high velocity, the inherent high velocity of the shells, which were typically used for taking out aircraft, were doing an excellent job all on their own for taking out tanks. Alright, let's drop a set of mines here. I'm gonna redo this. One soldier at a time.
Tempo, zur Front!
Setting up our anti-personnel mines. These are, the Germans used something called the Bouncing Betty. So Bouncing Betty was a notorious anti-personnel mine from World War II, and they were designed not necessarily to kill but to maim. So how the Bouncing Betty works, if you didn't know this, when they are triggered, they will, between a half a second to a second later, jump up into the air, and when they explode, they send shrapnel in a 360 direction pretty much maiming, cutting, and all the other things you can imagine what such a device could do. And they were designed that way to slow the enemy down. See, if you kill soldiers, then you don't create the motivation to try to rescue them. But if you maim a whole lot of soldiers, the enemy that you are attacking, as the Germans, has to stop and try to either rescue them, save them, and that can slow down an advancement or impede the enemy and complicate their operations or whatever they may be doing. Bouncing Bettys were quite terrifying for the Soviets and for the Allies. There is a famous movie, I can't recall which one, it might be Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers, where the viewer gets to encounter Bouncing Bettys. Their name sounds jolly, but they were pretty awful in reality. Let's move the engineering truck up to reload our miners. Need to replenish them. Now, because this gun is quite elevated, I can put it behind a mound or an obstacle. If you think about, say, artillery or field guns, they tend to be quite low down. Because this is a little bit higher, I can move it behind obstacles quite nicely. So for here, for example, I'll move it here. Let me bring in the last unit. Let's pause. Another machine gunner. General supply truck, which we'll put over here. Infantry squad. We will put foxholes on the hill. Always want to put your foxholes at the top of a mound or hill. It's without obstruction behind, without a object behind them. Otherwise, a misfire will hit the object and kill your soldier in their foxhole. That includes walls and tanks and artillery. Let's move the spotlight over here. And we have one here already. Okay.
Wir kommen uns hier ein wenig nackt vor. Bereit in Richtung Ziel vorzurücken. Wie lauten die Befehle?
We'll put our machine gunner up in the hill here.
Wie lauten die Befehle?
This floodlight can sit here.
Wo sollen wir mit den Teilen? Besatzung bereit! Ladet dieses Ding und macht euch bereit! Kommt! Wir haben Befehle! Wir erwarten Ihre Befehle! Ziel ausgeschaltet!
We will put one of the guns here. They will likely come north after either capturing or failing to capture point A. Just move the rest of the units up. Let's get those miners going quickly. It's quite hard to see where I've... Yeah, I think I see what's going on here. One in the middle. In this game, you can draw out your lines of mines, but I find that they are too tightly packed together. I much prefer to do it manually so that I can draw whatever I want.
Erwarte weitere Befehle.
They do have a tendency to bring in artillery these days. So those will more likely come from the north directly as opposed to going around, which is why we're going to double up on this side. By that I mean the artillery is not going to go from the west to the south and then come to the north. They're going to spawn and just come either camp or make a move this way. Okay, we've got a few minutes left. Let's keep them.
Jawohl.
Oh, we've got plenty of mine supplies. Okay, just keep an eye here. We have a howitzer sitting. Let's get that in there. Where is the other one? This needs to move in. I think it has a problem with the fence, so I'm going to drive over a fence and clear away for it. Yep, that should sort it out. We can move the other one over here.
Wo soll das Ding hin?
Right.
Nehmt das Teil in die Hand und los.
Waffentrupp bereit. Ladet dieses
Machine
Ding und
gunner.
macht euch bereit.
So move the guys into their foxholes.
Ihre Befehle. Bereit zum Ein... Tempo jetzt. Verstärkt die Front.
Feuer anpassen.
Erwarte weitere Befehle, Leutnant. Aufschließen. Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Leutnant? Tempo, Tempo, sofort.
Need one more. Where are my medics? I haven't got my spotters out. Well, I've got floodlights, so not such a big deal. The 7.5 can sit up front. Rotate the guns. Get more mines going.
Tempo jetzt. Verstärkt die Front.
We're out of mines.
Bleib bei mir.
This guy.
Von mir. Los, los.
Plant your last 4 mines. And get out.
Jawohl.
Get the ammo crate up.
Einsatzbereit.
So, if you are watching on the screen, you can look at the top left of the map and you can see how the spotlight cuts right through that fog. That's going to be very valuable for artillery if they bring them in, given that we are so close to that spawn spot.
Ich höre nicht.
Dropping sandbags.
Ja, wohin mit dem Ding?
Männer, bereit
Wo sollen wir mit dem Teil hin?
Wir kommen uns hier ein wenig nackt vor.
We've got a pack gun right out here. Should be fine. Nothing should get that close. Okay, let's... Just want to move one of the medics close to the front. Let's move our AMR machine gun this way. This is the DSHK, a machine, Soviet heavy machine gun.
Geht's los?
Turning off the return fire for our spotters. We've got some mines here. We can quickly see how many we can squeeze out before they arrive. Okay. I'm sending the engineering vehicle back home.
Seht mal, dieses Ding hier kommt aus Dresden.
Besatzung bereit.
We need to aim all our artillery. It's Team 9.
Verdammt,
Team 8.
ein Klingeln in den Ohren.
Let's go drop the ammo crate here for the... Yeah, they are coming. Okay, just rotate it. Drop your ammo. We're going to lose a miner. Run, run, run. Yeah, too late. Here they come.
Wo soll das Ding hin?
Get one of our machine gunners up on this hill. The medic must get down. Sandbags.
Erwarten Befehl.
Let's see if we can help them. The artillery. Took out the crew. For the Jeep. Let's see if we can get in another salvo of that. Well, we took out the scout car. But that was finished already. That sorted it out.
Schieß doch auf diesen Bastard! Ja, wohin mit dem Ding?
These spotlights are amazing. Very effective. Artillery is fun, but it's very easy to fall into the trap of completely exploiting it all the time. I say that now, but later on I won't have any... Given how difficult the air will get, I won't really care anymore, because I'll be more trying to survive than anything else. They really seem fixated on this point. They have no interest. They have no interest in point B. What's point B? Oh, point D. I'm not sure how they number or letter these positions. Just help them out here. I'm helping them because it saves us in the long run from having to retake the point. And we don't really have a lot of tanks with us. So this saves us some time down the line. In the spotlight a bit.
Hier werden beschossen! Ladet dieses Ding und macht euch bereit!
We've got anti-tank. Oh, they're hitting our mounds quite nicely. It's right over that hill. Too late. Turn the spotlight. The tank. He's going to try and repair in a minefield. Okay, he's not repairing anything now. He got hit. Sorry about that. A large wave of infantry.
Wieso haben wir so wenig Munition? Nachladen! Feuerbefehle erhalten! Schnell! Bringt die Arbeit zu Ende! Männer, bereit machen für Befehle!
Gun got taken out. It's so misty, you can't see. Not even the 7.5 can see. I'll let the AR drive, so it can see through the weather. move the spotlight through the mist. Let's see if we can see anything else. Oh, I can set an auto revive zone for this, for the medic. It would be nice if he returned to a position after reviving. Now, okay, we lost our gunner. We will replace him with a set of riflemen. Needs to do repairs. 7.5. Okay, we've got a large column coming up. I took out one of their light vehicles, their light armor. Another one. Another one. Yep, sorted that out. Have a look. So much smoke and debris. Mission complete. All right. I can hear someone crawling around here. I'm going to go and salvage all of this, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. That one took quite some time. There was a lot to salvage. We got 2 flak cannons, an artillery piece, a couple of light tanks, a lot of utility vehicles, and a gas quad Maxim. So this is a anti-infantry vehicle. Basically got 4 Maxim machine guns on it, so could use that on the next defense mission. I think we lost a light. That's about it. We lost a light. We lost one of the lightsmen, and we lost one of the machine gunners. The DSHK was hit twice, and unfortunately we lost one of the gunners. We also lost an officer, so we're out scouting, and there was a lot of ordnance trapped in my minefields. Obviously, having lost one of their artillerymen, they can no longer move, so it's unfortunate, but yeah, we lost one of the officers. And that is the armored menagerie, and that's what we collected. That should fetch us quite a lot of cash or ammunitions. So let's wrap everything up and see how everything performed. So we lost 11 of our men, and we lost 1 of our vehicles. The vehicle we lost was the machine gun, but then we subsequently rebuilt it or repaired it. And oh no, sorry, not the machine gun, the light. The floodlight got hit, basically. It was cracked, and one of the crewmen had died, so that was repaired. Yeah, we lost quite a number of infantry this round, and the enemy took obviously an enormous amount of casualties. Let's see how the armaments performed. Alright, the miners once again did very well, quite a lot this time, 267. The 7.5 again doing very well and always at the top of the list, more so than the artillery. I don't recall what this was about. This might have been when I tried to capture one of the flak guns. This lieutenant or this officer died during the process. DS-39, one of our standing machine guns, did quite well, got 19 infantry kills, and our 76mm 55 anti-tank gun got quite a number of kills. Probably that elevated position that put it in a better position than the 5cm pucks. Artillery doing well, not as well as it usually does, but I didn't quite lean on it as much this time. And the DSHK did well, but again, the anti-infantry machine guns cost very little, so when they do take out infantry, they tend to score very high. And then the 76mm Russian F-22 anti-tank gun did quite well, and then the new 5cm puck 38 coming in at 24 infantry kills. And that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will catch you again for day 7, I believe, where we will push on to a new location. Cheers.